Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Bad Thought Studios. Today's actually a very special episode. Jay and I are going to be doing a short film and proof of concept film. We're going to be talking to directors, writers, and watch a couple that we think is very cool. We are doing one today called Logan the Wolf. It is a fan film from Wolverine, and we are getting a Deadpool and Wolverine movie out. So why not watch a fan film on it? This one recently came out a couple days ago. But yeah, Jay Shears joining me. We're going to be doing a segment. It's pretty much just about short films and proof of concept films, and talk to directors and writers. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, especially with you, Jay, as a director and a short film creator. But yeah, thank you for doing this with me, bro. I appreciate it. Means
I
a
can't
lot.
wait, dude. Yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Yep, I'm excited. And Jay has a short film coming out soon. If you guys haven't heard about it, it's called No Vacancy. If you could kind of tell people what the shows or the movie's about.
No Vacancy is about guilt and shame and what happens to us when we experience those things, but it's all wrapped up in a sort of neo-noir 1970s thriller with a little bit of horror elements associated with it. So it's supposed to be about some deep subject matter, but as we're going through that deep subject matter, we're trying to make it as fun as possible. But it's ultimately also like a pretty heavy film, so it's both and. It's like it's both cool and heavy at the same time. It's the kind of film that I love to make, and the kind of film that I love to write. So I'm hoping that everybody out there will love it as well. But the log line for it is that, in fact, I'll read you the log line. Verbatim is what log line is, like basically what you write for your film, that tells people what it's all about and what they're getting themselves into, right? Gotcha. So let me just give you the log line really quick here. No Vacancy. Journalist Lee Larson arrives at a remote roadside motel where her past sins will come to haunt her. There you go. That's the log line.
and this is a proof of concept film, correct?
Yeah, it's proof of concept for a feature film called The Harlequin that we've already written. It's already good to go. And we're hoping that this proof of concept will show folks that we have the ability to be invested in, so that we could make the feature, and we would go make the feature. And the feature is also very much about exploring some of the same kind of things, but it's also more hopeful than the short film is. The short film's a little bit more intense. The feature film's a little bit more like inspirational.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. If you guys are interested in watching that trailer, it is out now. No Vacancy. I will leave that in the description below. But yeah, today we are doing a Logan fan film called Logan the Wolf. From what I've gathered, it's a fan film of Wolverine, and it's set by a Viking. And I thought the first like 10 seconds that I seen it wasn't the trailer, it was just like, I guess just a clip of it, and I stopped right away. I was like, I can't watch this without Jay. Like,
let's do it, man. This sounds awesome. I haven't seen it at all. I didn't even see the promo for it.
Yep. It looks amazing, and I think the concept of it is fantastic. Like a Viking Wolverine. Come on, dude. That's right on my alley.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Right on. But without further ado, let's get into it. Logan the Wolf, a Wolverine fan film. All right.
Nice.
I am wrath. I am chaos and balance. I am death and resurrection. I am Fenrir's fury.
You can hear it okay?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
good.
I've been waiting for you.
Should I run instead?
I don't run away from miserable creatures.
I've heard a lot about you. Stories are told about a ferocious wolf that butchers women and children, and even slaughtered 20 of Gunnar's men alone.
Alone.
Lies! Nothing more than fairy tales to scare little kids. Lord Otto put a bounty on your head, and I don't give a shit what they say about you or what you've done. We are here for the money.
Are you sure it's worth it?
Such a leader, man. It surely is.
Such a beautiful shot.
Yeah, that's cool. Having the moon behind him like that.
Yeah.
I leave one of you alive so you can warn your sons about those fairy tales.
Get him!
Oh shit! Ooh.
So much for that. Take the body.
Oh shit.
What kind of demon are you?
I am Logan the Wolf.
Kill him.
Get!
Oh my god! Oh. Oh shit. Oh my god, dude.
Oh my gosh. Damn.
Holy fuck. Holy shit.
You freak. Leave now and tell your kind about me. Tell your kind a new god will soon rule. Tell your kind a new era is upon them. Go now!
To Deadpool?
Impressive.
Jon Snow.
If you're here for the bounty, just look at them and see your end.
Very, very promising. I've been watching you. You have something unique. That brings my attention.
What do you want?
I want you to join me. Together we would be unstoppable.
No man walking these lands can slay me. What would I be doing with you?
You know, we're not so different, you and I. We share the same aversion and repugnance for those animals. If we gather...
I don't need you. Just go home while you still can.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
See, I am just like you, a god among the commons. But instead humans call us monsters. They fear us. They want us extinct. And trust me, they'll keep hunting us down and slaughter the ones we love until all our heads onto their spikes. But we're about to change that.
Death isn't my concern, mortal. Last warning.
That's a shame. I thought you'd understand.
You're going to die like the rest of them.
Show me.
Oh, nice.
Oh my god, dude. Choreography was amazing.
Oh, some of the there are so many fan films that have just phenomenal action. Action is one thing that fan films do really, really well.
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get into it. Wow,
That's crazy.
Very, very impressed.
Yeah.
But I want to get your thoughts first, Jay. I want to get your thoughts first.
Oh, I mean, anybody who can put together a short film like that is doing so much work to get that done. Like, first of all, you have to have a compelling idea, which they clearly do, right? Like,
Oh yeah,
Wolverine as a Viking is like phenomenal idea. So they have a great concept. But a concept, I mean, lots of people have great concepts. Trying to pull it off is like the thing that's really, really difficult. And clearly, this is a person who has studied action before, and a lot of times when you see like first time directors, a lot of times one of the things that they do is that they are, what word do I want to use? Reluctant to go fully into like committing to things, right? So like instead of being like you'll have an idea for something, or like, what if I only show like a super close up of like half their face, and then they'll go, oh no one really does that, so I'll like back off and just show their whole face or whatever. But you'll notice that really, really, really strong directors will take shots that are like insane, right? Like they'll go like, no, I'm just gonna do a close up like from this angle. I'm gonna do this kind of and that like gives you a name, right? When you're able to do like these really compelling, cool shots. So one of the biggest things about fan films that I'll notice is that a lot of the shots they're set up as if you're a person in the room, not a camera in the room. Like in other words, they'll give you like, I'm going to give you the whole scene as opposed to a part of the scene that exemplifies everything that's going on, and I think that this guy did a really good job of not doing like these big wide shots. Like he was close up on all the areas. They obviously were really great with locations because they only had to have one location, which was, well, maybe two locations, because the opening of the film has a slightly different location. I think that the production design and the costuming, so more costuming in this case, because production design is basically the forest. I'm sure they had to like do stuff to the forest, so that was awesome too. But the makeup, the hair and makeup and stuff was phenomenal. I was a little bit worried about it when it first started, and he was doing like the haka, the Viking haka type thing, because there's not a lot of makeup in that scene. He's just in costume, but he looks like kind of a more normal dude. And that I was a little bit worried about it, because I was like, oh, okay, like this guy doesn't, if you saw this guy on the street, you wouldn't think Wolverine. Like he's short and stocky like Wolverine, which is I'm super happy about, because I'm so tired of tall, skinny. Yeah. You're like, dude, that's not Wolverine. What are you talking about? But this guy was much more suited for it, which was awesome. But I like the fact that when they actually transition into the like past the prologue into the actual film, they've actually made him look much more drastic. He has a much longer beard. He's got the tattoos on the side of his head. He's got the hairstyling is different. You need to like that kind of stuff. You need to, because when a human being just makes an angry face, you're like, okay. But if a makeup artist helps them make the angry face, then it's like a whole nother level of awesome, right? And that's what I think they were able to achieve. Not so much in the opening scene, but in the rest of the film, they did such a good job with makeup that you really felt like the characters were intense. I mean, just even the Magneto makeup was phenomenal, right? So I love that aspect of it. The action scenes were filmed brilliantly. Like that's as good of an action sequence as you will see in John Wick. Like John Wick might actually have like a few more complicated things like cars, right? Or like the top down scene, which is one of the coolest action scenes like in the history of film. But like, so those are really, really, really complex where you need like a ton of money to do. But in terms of like John Wick fist fighting people, that was just as good. That was just as good as any John Wick film. Some of the kills, knowing that like they have claws and what that looks like. Let's put it this way: that fan film was superior to the Origins film, the Hugh Jackman Origins film, where they didn't even put the special effects were like would like move in the mirror and stuff like that. Like what they did was better than that. So like that, I have tip my hat to those guys. They did a phenomenal job.
Oh my god, this went over my expectations. I was expecting a short action part, but it was most of the movie. And also it gave you the action or the storyline of Magneto too. Like I wasn't expecting Magneto at all, but they gave you enough storyline where you needed that you needed. they give you the action that you were expecting,
Yep.
and then they on top of it they give you Magneto where you didn't expect that to happen.
Yeah.
And then oh my god, this is behind Star Wars Rival. This is one of my favorite films.
Well, this is even better. I would say this is even better looking than Star Wars Rivals for sure. Like, because I think one of the things you need to go into. So let's break down like when they come up with this idea, this concept for a film. One of the first things you need to do is you need to decide on making a film is partially a what are we going to be good at and what are we not going to be good at activity, because there's no way that you have the budget to be good at everything, right?
Yep.
There's very few times when we were just talking. We just recorded a separate show on Shogun, and that's the last show we recorded. And you and I were talking about, it's really difficult to be like 100% there on plot and 100% there on character arcs. Well,
Sure.
take that 100% and divide it amongst special effects, action, cameras you're going to use, actors you're going to use,
CGI.
yeah, CGI you're going to use, practical effects, costuming, makeup, like all of these things have to be accounted for, and everybody's has to bring their A game. But also you have to decide, like, it's very difficult. It would be very difficult for this film to say, let's have a character arc for Wolverine.
Yeah.
Right. Or like, let's have that's almost impossible. And so one of the things, like if you were compared this to Rivals, like we set out not to make an action film. This action is way better than the action you get in Rivals, right? Like, because we had to make sacrifices. My friend Marianne who plays Sky. She's never done an action sequence in her life. Like that's not what she's ever done before, but she's a phenomenal actress, right? Maddie Curley, on the other hand, was in what's the name of it? Is a gymnast movie. Not Bring It On, but it was like that kind of style of movie where it's like about gymnasts. And so she's like a full on like CrossFit, like insanely talented. She's the one that does the flip in the movie. Okay. And so she has been in action before and can also act, right? But we had decided that so many people had done amazing action sequences that we wanted more of like a character arc, and we wanted more of like a storyline embedded in it. Yeah. And that's a different kind of film. Like, you're not going to be able to do that kind of action because you can't, it's not just, you're not just hiring stunt people, you're hiring you're hiring other types of actors. So like these guys nailed it with like we're going to do a 10-minute action sequence that has surprises, has amazing kills, uses the terrain and the style of weaponry in a way that's interesting and compelling. They nailed it on all of those fronts. Like, it was perfect.
For sure. It was phenomenal. The one thing that that was kind of weird at first was the little thing he did at the beginning. Mm-hmm. From what I gathered from it, I'm thinking it was more of like, because Vikings really believed in the gods, they believed in all that stuff. So I'm assuming it was some kind of like I guess prayer to the gods, what he was doing. I don't know for sure, but it made sense because he's probably so entwined with the gods because he's pretty much like a demon. Like he has
exactly.
But yeah, fucking phenomenal. I'm so
really
glad I got to watch this with you. Yeah, it's amazing. On a movie like this, or a short film like a fan film like this, what kind of budget do you think something like this goes for? If you had to guess.
Yeah, the big question in my mind pertaining to the budget with this film is how many days did it take to shoot? I'm assuming this was probably 2 days. That's a total guess on my part, but the reason why I'm guessing 2 days is because if they were going to do it in a day, that's a long day for them to do all of those fight sequences.
Especially at like that time. Like, it looked like it was bright the whole time.
Yeah, that might be. I think that. So I'm guessing that they're just using a filter, and it was like, it actually they just filmed in the daylight, and then they just heavily filtered it, because when you film at twilight, I wrote a scene in Twilight for No Vacancy, was supposed to take place in twilight, and like, dude, to arrange everything and have that shot be done with the kind of light you need to have it done with, you're talking about only being able to actually film for maybe like
30 seconds, a minute.
It's yeah, I mean maybe 30 minutes, but like you still, I mean
okay.
like those action sequences were such that like they think about it this way. You have to do a bunch of takes because you're not gonna get exactly what you want every single time. They did a really good job. One of the things I was really impressed by was the action sequences with, so the camera's got to be is almost for sure. The name of the mount is eluding me right this second. I'm not like a big camera person. That's not my directorial experience. Mine's on the storytelling side. But like they're using a rig that's attached to a guy, and they're like running around with it, right? Like but they did it in a way that looked really smooth. They were not doing like shaky cam bullshit or whatever. Like their stuff was like on point, and like they're going in and out with, so that's choreographed, right? Like every person coming in is going to be that they're using weapons, so they got to be careful, and every single thing is choreographed perfectly, and then all the visual effects are going to be done later.
Yep.
So I have a feeling that it's probably a 2-day shoot. I have a feeling that they probably, unless they, short films, like people will use short films as calling cards, so it's very possible that like they got their makeup artists to do it at a vastly reduced rate, but I would assume it's at least 20K. If I were looking at that, I would guess that it's actually probably closer to like 40-50K. But it could have been done with a bunch of favors. Like that happens all the time. But even the makeup, like, and the costuming had to be pretty pricey to have to, unless those people just did like volunteered. Another thing is that people overseas can get stuff done cheaper, and I don't know where this was filmed. I don't know if it was filmed in the States or if it was overseas. Sometimes you can find cheaper rates on stuff over there. But I mean, they spend a decent chunk of money on this, and hopefully they will get a lot of really great attention, and they'll be able to say like, we should hire this guy as a DP on our next shoot or whatever. For
sure. I think like everything about this was perfect.
Yes.
Like, and they for sure have some future. If they don't have a future already, they will definitely have something for sure in the future. Shout out to Godfrey. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, but Godfrey
Godfroy.
Yeah.
He's from France. It looks like French director.
Wow. Yeah. Congratulations, man. This is phenomenal work. I am going to be looking at your other videos for sure, because I see you have multiple videos in here that I would love to look at, man. Congratulations, man. This was phenomenal. I think you did a great job. Excited to see more work from you.
He looks like he's done a lot of stuff that's like, finally one of them blew up, which is awesome, because he's almost at, a lot of his other stuff is like under 10,000 views, which is like absolute tragedy, because obviously he's done some amazing stuff. So I'm hopefully this will take off for him, and he'll be able to if he's not already getting, it says right here that coming from a martial arts background, which is sort of obvious, I'm a director, editor, stuntman, and fight choreographer. So that's just awesome. He's just doing really cool stuff.
And if you're listening, we would love to have you on the show. Love to talk to you about your experience in doing this this fan film, and love to hear about your kind of background and stuff like that. So if you are listening to this, we'd love to have you on. But Jay, I appreciate you for coming on, brother. I look forward to doing a lot more of these fan films and short film videos with you. We are going to be doing more of like the talking to directors and writers and stuff like that when it comes to these short films. So this was kind of just a one-off. I mean, we might watch some in the future, but this was a very interesting concept that we had to put on film.
We had to. Yeah. It's amazing. Shout out to that whole team, man. That whole team. The guy who played Wolverine did such a fantastic job. Like, whenever you're doing a short film, you never know what you're gonna get a lot of times. You know what I mean? Like, but they killed it, knocked it out of the park.
That's so awesome to hear. I love your background when it comes to like some of the stuff that you were saying with the filter and stuff like that. I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known for sure. But thank you, Jay. Appreciate it, brother. If you could tell the people where they can find you on social media.
Yep. Find me at How Stories Work with Jay Shear here on YouTube. I'm going to do some explain videos. I'm thinking about doing a whole every movie in the AFI top 100 films of all time. and just doing one at a time, explaining each one, starting with Citizen Kane, probably. So check that out over at How Stories Work with Jay Shear, and then check me out on Orange Grove 55. We did a Deadpool breakdown with this guy right here.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to do a Deadpool 2 breakdown sometime in the coming weeks. So getting ready for Deadpool and Wolverine. So if you like Wolverine content, if you like Deadpool content, check me out over at Orange Grove 55. There's a bunch of other theme park stuff over there. So search like Orange Grove 55 Deadpool. And then you'll find us, because there's so much other content on that channel. But yeah, no, thanks for having me on, man. This was super fun.
Oh no, always a blast, man. Always a blast. And guys, let us know what you guys thought about the fan film, Logan the Wolf. Let us know what you guys thought. Also, make sure you guys subscribe and like the video. And when you sub, make sure you guys are subscribed with notifications on, so you guys are notified when a video is uploaded. And yeah, follow me on social media, Tones_TV on all platforms. And if you guys are interested in the podcast that me and the Candid Camper do, Bad Thoughts Podcast on YouTube and Spotify. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys have a great night. Love y'all.